White Guy Movie Reviews. Yes.
For that one. Super racist.
Hello and welcome to another Fat White Guy Movie Review. I'm Steve.
I'm Josh.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Tonight we are going to review a movie starring our man, Jason Statham.
Yes. The man's awesome.
Yep. He, to me, and I don't know if I said this before, but he's like the new Bruce Willis. Back when Bruce Willis's heyday, he resembles him and maybe outacts him a little bit. Maybe it's just the newer times, I don't know. But anyway, the name of the movie is Blitz.
Yeah.
And Blitz is about, a couple of different kinds of cops, and there's a cop killer on the loose.
Yep. And it really kind of snuck up on me because I'm a huge Jason Statham fan, and I really hadn't heard much about this.
I'd never heard of it, period. If I did, I forgot about it.
And it came out on DVD like one week, and then the next week it was available on Netflix Instant, which is usually a pretty...
Well, I even though the movie... I mean, I was just going to tell you, I like the movie. So the movie's good. And I think I can feasibly see how it made the transition from screen to DVD or DVD to Netflix so quick because it's a run-of-the-mill Jason Statham film.
Yeah.
It's got some cool nips and turns, but there's not a whole lot of depth to it. I could see him easily taking this concept and making it a 3-hour Hannibal Lecter deep-thinking movie.
It could have been really, really, really a smart film, but instead it just became an action vehicle. It's an action vehicle.
Jason Statham.
And I love Jason Statham, man.
It's a good movie.
Crank, all those films are just like, bam, it's so awesome.
Yeah.
But this one I didn't really dig. It's not great. It's not bad.
No. It was cookie cutter. It was a cookie cutter Jason Statham movie.
It's an average film. The action sequences, Jason Statham's action, his fight scenes, always, pretty damn top notch.
Yep. You're right behind him the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, you really his action sequences are better than anyone out there right now. His acting in this, pretty on par for what he does.
Yeah, and I think the intention. There's a couple of the gratuitous. Before I hit you with a surfboard, I'm gonna say, "Surf's up, dude!" Boom, and hit you.
Yeah.
There's a couple of those gratuitous lines in there, but I fully believe it was intentional.
Yeah.
I believe they were fully kind of a, kind of
tongue-in-cheek type of deal.
Yeah. They knew it was corny and they did it on purpose, and for that reason, I think it fit, and they get a pass from me on that.
And what did you think about the villain?
You know what? The villain I think was excellent.
Mm-hmm.
He played that role really well. It was really believable, and I think his character and how well he played it is kind of what drew me into the thinking of this could be a 3-hour movie. If somebody would take it, rework it, throw in a lot of details, a little bit more, like you said, intellect and smartness into it. His character was good. I really liked it.
He did a really good job. I wish he was a stronger character, and I mean this as in I wish he was more forceful in in how he was approaching things, because for some reason with his body language he seemed kind of very vulnerable, which I guess is the character.
I'm saying I think that.
Yeah. Now we're back to it. And anyways, he seems very vulnerable, which I guess is part of the character. I think that's part of the character. I think that's part of the brilliance of his character, because it lets people feel complacent and unthreatened, and that's when he comes to the face with the fucking claw hammer. Yeah,
the guy is forceful. Not many people I know that are.
Sequence is awesome.
And then the dude sits there eating chips while the still blood on his face. And watches. The dude's forceful, man.
Yeah.
So I think it's part of the character, and I think it fits well, and I think it really lends to the whole. I think it's like that looks pretty. Boom.
Yeah. But overall, I loved the villain. I loved the way he did things. Like I said, I wish he was more like you were talking about. I wish he was more Hannibal Lecter. Than Broken Loser.
Yeah.
But
Well, I think
way,
he could have been.
He's interesting.
Yeah,
either
his
way,
character could have been. They just, whoever put this film together, just again, they wanted to package, and it was it's a teaser for what could have been. It really makes. I hope somebody picks it up and says, and turns it into a 3-hour movie and puts all that.
And you know what? I would still put Jason Statham in.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I would leave. As a matter of fact, I even liked his the
cop,
the gay cop.
Yeah, the detective.
I mean, he played his role well. I love his role.
He's a good actor.
The little crazy guy in the windsuit.
Oh yeah.
I mean, dude, there was bam character. All the characters in here were good. Their roles were good. They played them well. I don't know. The only person that was kind of teetering for me was the drug addict cop. You know, she played her role well, but I really hated her character. She was on the verge of reminding me of that Rosie Perez chick. She kind of got on my nerves, but I still say she played her role good. Right? So all the characters in here had nice, even though it was a tight, compact movie with not a whole lot of backstory for everybody, they offered just enough to make each character interesting. And they were they interwove and interacted well. Now I like how the inspector, the head inspector, the acting one because the other one got clawed, and Jason Statham, how their relationship made that
full circle
come around. It was, I mean, at first glance, the movie's but if you really think about it, there's some intricacies that aren't so visible.
There are some not so obvious moments, but they're not fully explored. Like you were talking about.
No, most definitely not.
And that's kind of what keeps this as a basic action movie vehicle.
Yeah, still cookie cutter.
But you know what? It's fun. It's good enough if you have the extra time. You feel like watching it, it's worth watching. It's not something that I would just immediately bump up to the top of my queue and be like, I gotta stop everything I'm doing right now.
No.
But
if they had made it smart, I would tell you.
Yeah, if it had a little more depth, like you were talking about, if it had a little more depth, it'd definitely be like, wow.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
Yeah.
But it's good. So what do you want on a 10?
On a 10. All that being said, major props. I really liked the movie. Don't have anything bad to say about it besides we should have been smarter. I've already said that. Yeah. You know, we've said that 100 times. But I don't want to be too harsh, but I don't want to be too giving. So I'm going to go with 6.5. I'm going to give it 6.5.
Wow, that's pretty high.
You know,
I'm kind of on the fence. I don't think it's that high. I think it's a decent film, and you know, because I'm a Jason Statham fan, I think I'm actually going higher than I normally would. But I'm gonna give it a 5.
Good.
Like I said, if you're a fan of his action movies, there are gonna be enough action sequences to make this interesting.
Yeah.
If you're going into this not a fan of Jason Statham, I don't know that this is really a great film to sit down and watch.
And see, I give the film a little bit more value simply because it made me think. It made me think of other possibilities. It did all that. If you base it just purely on somebody who's going to watch it and say, entertain me, yeah, I can see the 5 all day.
Yeah.
But
maybe even lower.
But because I like all the like the villain and the intricacy of him, and I like what it made me think of while I was watching. Like it gave me ideas and all that. So from a creative, we're more involved in movies than your average watcher. I think for your average watcher, probably most definitely a 5.
Yeah.
But that's why I give it a 6.5 because
he sees the potential.
I see potential.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
That's why I keep doing these reviews. I see potential. One day we'll make it.
It's like sooner or later, more than 3 people are going to watch.
That's right.
But yeah, so
that's cool, man. So yeah,
we've got a 5,
a 5, and a 6.5. You know, if you have time, watch the movie. I actually watched it while killing time. I think I had something rendering on my computer, or I was waiting for something. I forget. So it was a perfect way to kill an hour and a half. Yep. And the movie's just right. It's just the right length. So watch it. Tell us what you think about it. Leave comments below. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter. We're trying to get that running. It's not. It'll get better, but come visit us there. And leave your comments below. Any suggestions, email us, leave it below, whatever.
If you have any movies that you want us to watch, any movies that you made that you can send us or send us a link to, we'll be happy to review it. And
just let us know you're out there, and thanks for joining us again. We'll see you next time.
See you next week.
Fat White Guy Movie Reviews. Yes, indeed.